7 surprising signs on a first date that he could be the one. I've got Dr. Bejamin Ritter back with me. You might have seen Benjamin. He was in yesterday and we were talking about the one mistake that sees you wasting months and often years on the wrong guy. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. Today, we're going to show you exactly how to do that so that you can be intentionally dating without an agenda and filtering in the guys that are ready to build a great relationship, a great healthy relationship with you. So Dr. Ben, you've been a coach in Chicago here for a long time. You coached men for a long time before that. What's sign number 1 and how do women find it?
The first sign is, does he support you? So does he support your passions, the things that you're saying on the date? And when you start talking about your friends and other interests and other activities, does he support that you will have a life outside of the relationship?
Just a little thing, because they say, well, I don't know if he supports me. He's not my boyfriend. You can tell from the very first date. Is he enthusiastic for you to have a good time with your friends, right? Does he encourage you to follow your passion? He's like, that's awesome. Like, I love this. You can get that vibe from the very beginning.
Yeah, is he judgmental, right? Is he negative? Is he dismissive? If not, if he's egging you on and asking for more, then he supports you.
I love that. Number 2 is consistency. Does he immediately, from the very beginning, start to do what he says and says what he does? Even if it's like a little thing, I'm going to call you at 7. So he calls at 7, or he texts saying, hey, I'm really busy, but I'll call you at 9, and then he calls at 9. Right? Is he consistent in his actions? Do his words match his actions? Every one of these is an essential, non-negotiable relationship skill if you want a healthy relationship. And as you can see, you can already start to see these things from the very beginning. Ben, number 3.
Number 3 is respect. Does he respect you? And that is almost like a gut reaction, because you know when someone doesn't respect you. You know when someone's looking down on you. Does he treat you as a peer? Does he treat you almost as he would a friend? And I mean, I'll go even as far as his mom. Now, of course, there's going to be some level of attraction and connection, but not that he puts you on a pedestal, but he's treating you as an equal through how he speaks to you and the things that he says and how he looks at you and how he even communicates with you.
Just check in how you feel. You know, do I go, oh, do I feel like he was talking down a bit, or do I feel less, or do I even feel like he's putting me up on a pedestal, or do I feel like I really feel like he's equal? After that, he treated me like an equal. That is the very first sign from the first date that you can already find a guy who's going to respect you for the long, long term. So number 4 is interdependence. When I talk about interdependence, what I'm really talking about is the ability to empathize and connect with you without entering into sympathetic codependency.
Empathy is similar to compassion in a way where you may be really sad, and so instead of dismissing your emotion, he goes, tell me about that. Tell me more about that. Is there anything that I can do to help you? Now, interdependence can also be like, you can get a sign of interdependence from, is he actively listening to you? So is he paying attention to you? And is he working off of what you're saying, or is he throwing a new topic right away?
Yeah, I love that. Number 5 is purpose. I've got to tell you right now, if you're with a guy who's not on his purpose, and the relationship is not the purpose, it's not. No. If you're with a guy who's not on his purpose, lacks direction, you are going to struggle in a long-term relationship with that man. Because he lacks direction, and a man lacking direction just doesn't feel good about himself.
Yeah, if a man doesn't have direction, he's lost.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's constantly looking for the right path to go down. He's constantly trying new paths. And you don't want to be one of the paths that he's trying. You want to be the path that he's certain of. And a man can't really be certain of a relationship unless he's certain of himself.
Yeah.
And so that purpose means that he finds meaning in his life. And if he has that, then he can actually dedicate, right, his relationship essence and his relationship values to you.
On the first date, listen to how he talks about what he does. You know, does he have this clear direction? Does he have this clear purpose? And bonus points if he can really dive into some vulnerable emotions around it. Like if he can really say, yeah, you know, I was in this show, I was in this bad place. I was sad. It really hit me. If he dives into that and then just lights up and he's like, that's why I dedicated my life or my time to this. Like, wow, this is a guy who knows where he's going. He knows why. He's connected to himself. and he's pushing forward with that, and thus can push forward with you.
He's comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
Right? He feels comfortable with how he defines who he is.
Yeah.
And so he's not seeking that anywhere else other than internally. And that relates to so many like positive attachment, theories, and just how we can now like develop the relationship in a way that is actually congruent to who he is. So because if he changes later on and the relationship isn't in sync with that, then you're going to be left on the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah. So important. Number 6 is boundaries. And on the very first date or few dates, you can see this by simply responding. If he wants to go to a bar that you don't like, or if he wants to do something that doesn't vibe with you, how does he hear your no? Because it's easy to like someone, it's easy to get along when they're complying with everything you want. That doesn't really test the quality of a relationship. What tests the quality is when you put a healthy boundary in place 6 months, 6 years from now. Does he respect that? Does he accept it? Or does he try to push through it?
What's powerful about boundaries too is you kind of learn how he deals with conflict.
Yeah.
And now don't go test and just say no for no reason.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Don't play games. But when you say no to somebody, or you say, I don't want to talk about this topic even, right? Because maybe you don't want to talk about a certain topic. You see how he reacts. Does he respect your no?
He's like, yeah, cool, totally.
Cool, great. Now
you're moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're connected to so many of the other values that we're discussing. Because if he respects your no, supports your no, right? And then it's consistent, doesn't come back to pushing you
he's
on
going to be
that
interdependent, all these things. Number 7, Ben.
Well, you kind of hinted at it, and that was being vulnerable. And that was being open and being able to connect with certain emotions that are important to the success of a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I love that. And being able to, I talk a lot about a guy's ability to dive into his feminine. And if you see him expressing an emotion that's classically difficult for men, which might be fear or sadness, and if he's expressing that authentically, not to make you feel sorry for him, like I had this sad sob story, but you're just like, wow, he's just really expressing here and he's sharing. The fact that the guy can own that part of himself means that part of himself is not going to get pushed down in 2-5 years from now, which is going to cause an unhealthy pattern.
And part of vulnerability is he candid, right? Is he actually saying what's on his mind?
This is huge.
And so he's not worried about your reaction, right? He's worried about the success of the relationship or the success of the partnership right now. And if he can't be frank and just honest, right? Because candor is a different type of honesty.
Yeah,
right? There's no fear attached
to it. It's about a raw honesty, not where someone just ignores how you feel. It's not like, Ben, your shirt effing sucks, right? It's like, if he asks me how a shirt, honestly, not a fan. That's candid.
And it's also a really easy way to express an emotion. So like you said, we talked about vulnerability. If you go, well, how are you feeling today? Instead of him just going, great. Well, actually, I kind of had a bad day at work.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now you start getting to these different values that we discussed.
Yeah, and that relates back to boundaries. You can see how these all tie together. And these truly are 7 signs that you can see if a guy could be the one from the very beginning. You still need chemistry, you still need compatibility, you still need a whole bunch of things. But as Ben referred to in the last video, which if you haven't watched, you should, link is in the description. It's like, is the house there? Because too many women waste too many years with a guy who has the chemistry and compatibility, but then he doesn't have the relationship house. And when you know to filter from this house from the beginning, from the very first date, every one of these you can start to spot and know if he is on the right track to potentially being the one for you. Well, that's the video. Thank you for coming in, Ben.
Thank you for having me.
What a treat to have Ben here. Hey, if you want to find out more about Ben, head to bejamin-ritter.com. Don't forget to check out yesterday's video as well. Should we bring him in for one more? What do you think? Put it in the comments below, and I'm sure he'll answer some comments too, so leave your questions down there as well. Hit the like button and the big red subscribe button with the little bell. Ben, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope one more time.
Yeah, and let's see you in the next video.